What's up, guys? War here. Welcome back to the channel. So we've been getting a lot of questions about endgame mapping. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to juice your maps. This is an advanced endgame mapping video for you guys, how to juice your maps and just kind of how to go about using these towers, the tablets, and how to kind of abuse and increase your loot gains for the endgame, okay? So the first thing first on here is let me zoom all the way out. On your maps, you have these things called lost towers, okay? These are pretty simple towers. They don't have any modifiers. You can go in and just do them, right? You can just go do these maps. But after completing a tower, you're going to be able to use these tablets. So we'll get into that in just a second. But first things first, let's talk about how to juice your waystones and how to just get better gear and loot drops from these waystones. So you got your basic waystone, which is just gray, normal, right? It has no modifiers, okay? Then we're going to have another waystone where you can add blue, which you can use a orb of transmutation, which will give it one modifier. And then you can add a orb of augmentation, which gives it a second modifier. Then we're going to go to the yellow ones. So you got your three different stages. You got normal, magic, and rare. So notice that on your basic waystone, you have no modifiers to increase anything in the map. It's just very blank. So you don't want to necessarily do these kind of maps because you're not getting any additions, right? You're not getting higher loot drop percentages. You're not getting increased gold. You're not getting increased waystones that can drop. It's just pretty blank. But if you need to do them because you're low on currency, then that is okay. At magic, this is really good for your lower tier maps, even up to like tier 7 if you really need to. I would probably go no higher than T5 when you're doing blues. But again, to regal something past this, you would have to use a regal to make this yellow. So as another, one more example, I'll just grab another one here. So there's a T8 here. So T8, and then you can regal it, which makes it yellow and adds one additional modifier. So with magic modifiers or magic waystones, you can see that you get an increased drop chance of waystones. That percentage goes way up when it's magic. Then we have two modifiers on here in a prefix and a suffix, which is increased rarity, and then monsters have. So with waystones, how they work, every prefix is going to be a buff for you, and then every suffix is a curse to you. So it's like the kiss curse. So suffixes will boost monsters, and prefixes should be benefiting you. So then you got your blues. So now we're going to go to yellows, which is using a regal to make a blue a yellow modifier. We get 3 modifiers on this one, and this can be random. So like you're going to have your prefix suffix, and then the third modifier is either going to be a prefix or a suffix. So it's either going to benefit you or it's going to benefit the monsters. But you can notice that the waystone drop chance is still high. We get increased amount of magic chests, increased magic monsters, but then they deal lightning damage. So all of these modifiers are going to be completely random. And then our last ones are going to be tier 11, and this is going to be your big time mods, all right? This is going to be your 6 mod maps. We got 2 prefixes and 4 suffixes here, so this one really benefits the monsters. But we have increased rarity of items found by 71%. And then there's an additional shrine. And then you see the waystone drop chance is 245%. So the higher that you can use your currency to juice these maps, the better it's going to be for you when you're trying to get a lot of loot. So in the early stages on your quest line here, like I'm on tier 10 right now. So on your early quest ones, like up to T5, you could do just blue maps. Like blue maps are good, because typically a lot of people are just going to have a lot of orbs of transmutation and augments. So that's really good. You can make everything blue. But once you really start to rack up regals, then past T5 or even at T5, I would start making things at least magic. You should be strong enough to start doing magic, and then you're good to go. Orbs of alchemy are very good to take a blank one and make it a 6 mod map. It seems really, really good. It does say 4 modifiers, so you do have the chance of not getting 6. So you could get something that's not that. So let's go into another one. I'll grab another blank one if I have one. So here's a T12. I'll regal it, or excuse me, Orb of Alchemy. Yeah, so this time we didn't get 6. We have 5, but it's still a very good map. Very, very good, right? So that's how I would kind of progress these through with your resources, because I know currency is very tough to get regals, right? Now, into your maps. So there's a little bit of a strategy here that we've kind of done along the way. You can see all the green nodes are maps that I've completed. And then you have all the map nodes with all of different endgame mechanics. Now, before we get into the tablets, what I would suggest that you do is you use your lower tier maps or ones that you know that you can destroy on these like blank nodes. So we call them travel nodes. So let's say I was at this green one, but I want to go fight this boss. So I can go to this blank travel node, right? And then come here to fight this seepage, which has 2 modifiers on it, 2 endgame mechanics, which is delirium. And what is this? I never remember what that one is. It's the, not ritual. It is arbiter. Is it art? Not arbiter. It's delirium. And I can never remember what that one is. Beyond. Like the monsters that come from beyond. So you want to use your lower tier maps that are not in your quest line as the travel maps, right? You also don't want to use maps that are super juiced. Like if I needed to go to this map node to get to here, I wouldn't use one of my big maps, right? Because there's nothing that benefits. There's no bonuses on this node. So I would use like maybe this blue one, get through it, get any loot, and then use my big tier 12 for this one, right? Because we want this super juiced. As an example, like now that we can do this boss one, if I put this in here, you can see now it's monster level 76. I'll have a boss that's added and we get all these mods, right? So that's kind of like the strategy that I've been doing as I move along. I'll use the lower tier ones until I get to the nodes that I actually want to do and get juiced. This doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get worse loot. The numbers are lower, but you can still get some really good loot even if you're using blues or low level yellows. So next. So let's take a look at this map here. So we're going to talk about towers and how these towers work, okay? Let's see. Do I have a tower that I can actually put something in? Yes, I do. Okay. So you have these lost towers here, all right? These are towers that are just going to be blank. There's no modifiers on them. There's nothing that can be added to it, right? It's just a tower. Now, the sole purpose of these towers is to add these tablets. We have a few different kinds of tablets here. I got 2 of them right now. You have all these precursor tablets that you can find on the ground and from killing monsters. Now, what these do are they pick 5 maps in range of this tower. And then it adds 15% quantity of waystones in those maps and 14% rares. So after defeating a tower, you have to defeat it first. You can take a tablet, put it in here, and influence it. So now that it's influenced, right, it shows a bunch of these maps that have these markers on them, okay? What this means is that this map node has been influenced. As you can see for the modifiers, now you see that it has increased rare monsters, increased quantity, increased waystones, and 5% gold. Okay, now if we click this, right, now we want to use, okay, this is a super juiced map. Now we want to put this 12 in here. So we're going to get all of these modifiers here on top of the modifiers from this waystone. So this map, if I did this one, would be super juiced. All the monsters are 1 level. Anytime that you use a tablet in a tower and you do a map with this modifier, all the monsters have +1 level, which makes them stronger, which in turn can maybe give us some better loot. And then we have ritual here, which is great. Super good. And we actually got a buy from a chunky cow during the video, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and invite the chunky cow, which is super cool. But tablets can be very, very powerful. Very, very powerful for this. I'm going to do this even live. We're doing this right now. Let me go to my cell. Let me grab, what does he want? I don't even know what he wants. He wants this belt. All right, trade. We're making money. We're making money. Sweet. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the trade. Time to kick you. I appreciate, dude. So you can see how like these things end up getting like super juiced from using these towers. So adding this on here with a T12 just would make this map super, super strong. Okay. Now, if I can locate it, it doesn't show it on the tower, but there is a big circle that will end up going around it, around the tower. and it'll show all the nodes and everything affected inside that tower would give you all the benefits, right? So this is by far the best way to kind of juice your maps. You can see here, increase number of rare monsters, increase waystones. This is one that is just super good. So I would probably use like this big one. Go ahead. It shows the monster level of the monsters after you put the waystone in. So this is by far the best ways to juice your maps. Now, one last thing are these other tablets. They're called precursor tablets, but these are directly linked to an endgame mechanic. So this one says Delirium. So Delirium is an endgame mechanic. Okay, Delirium is an endgame mechanic that you can get to add points to make it better. So what these specific tablets do is that if I put this in a tower, after a tower I completed, it's going to make 7 maps in the range contain Delirium. So this is the Delirium node here. That's Delirium. So it would just add 7 random maps and make it add Delirium. So when you're doing that mechanic, you hope that you get more Delirium drops of these tablets. So that way I can always do Delirium. And this is kind of the way that we farm up the end game mechanics that you want to do. Now, once you reach a point where you can go fight the boss and you can add points into here, then it makes it really cool because it makes things more difficult. Then we can get more maps, more tablets. We can get more monsters, right? We can get better bonuses because this is the end game mechanic that I actually want to farm. So I save all these right now until I can actually get there. But when you get a tablet, if you don't have an area that you've spent a lot of the nodes in already, then add it to a brand new one. So like right here, all these fresh nodes, I completed this one. So I would go complete this tower and then I would immediately throw this in there. So that way all these maps, and it reveals more of the shadow here. It would make so many maps in here that have all of these different endgame mechanics. Super boost, like super strong. So that's another thing when you're thinking about adding a tablet to a particular tower. Like I probably wouldn't add one to this tower because I've completed so many nodes. Now it does reach out. The range is very big, so don't be too worried about that. But if you can strategize and like do something like this where I complete this tower and it reveals the map and all these nodes down here I haven't completed, putting a tablet in there would just be really, really strong. So yeah, guys, this is how I've been juicing my maps. This is how I've been just farming currency and making it really, really good. I hope that this helps you in your grind in maps and getting currency and getting anything that you guys need from that. I know it can be a little confusing on how to do all that stuff, but hopefully this video has helped you out. That's a T5. Thank you. But yeah, this is what I do, guys. So like the video, comment down below. Let me know if you guys have any questions, all that good stuff, and I would be definitely sure to answer. It helps out the algorithm, guys. So thank you. And be safe, have fun, and as always, stay gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.